Nothing breaks my accountant spirit like juggling messy client bank accounts. I'm talking the clunky logins, the missing statements, and random charges labeled miscellaneous, and I'm expected to make sense of it? That's why we recommend and use Relay. It's modern business banking, but built for accountants. Can I get an amen in the back? With Relay, your clients can open up 20 checking and 2 savings accounts, issue virtual cards and physical cards with built-in spend controls, and each of my team members can be provisioned access by me, the firm owner, without begging for login credentials or chasing down 2-factor codes. Relay gives us real-time visibility into cash flow, spending, and transactions. Goodbye spreadsheets, hello cash flow mastery. If you're ready to break up with bad banking and save yourself hours every month, head to relayfi.com/unaccountable. That's relayfi.com/unaccountable. Folks, I can't say it enough. We need sponsors to know that people listen to this podcast. Please help us.
Hit it!
Welcome to UnAccountable, the world's okayest accounting game show podcast for product news, updates, and education. I am your microphone magician of a host, Tyler Otto, and I'm joined by the podcast paladin himself, Jeremy Van Groll, looking good in blue today.
Ooh, thank you. Also, got a clean shave on all the things with the summer heat, so yeah, feeling pretty good. Hey, I tried to get a hold of you this weekend, but you were busy with yet another thing that Tyler Otto does. What were you up to this weekend?
I was coaching a kids comp soccer tournament. Yeah, man, because I didn't have enough jobs, I signed up for what I didn't realize was I coached rec soccer the last 3 years, and it was one practice a week, and you got a game a couple Saturdays, and I didn't realize the administrative workload I'd signed up for. Oh yeah, holy smokes.
Yeah, I taught my son's soccer team for a couple years in rec, and then he went to competitive or club soccer, and I was like, nope, not going to do that. Because I'm a sane person, unlike yourself. Yeah.
No. I mean, dude, it's been fun. You asked how we did. So because our club was hosting the tournament and they didn't have enough teams in the higher tier, they bumped my team up, even though my kids were the 4th pick of all the kids. We're the 4th tier team. So... And I had several guest players on my team, kids I'd never coached before. So they lost 14-0 the first game. Oof. And I made goals for them in the second half. I'm like, don't worry about the score, right? I want to see you get the ball, make their goalie touch the ball this many times the second half. And they stopped worrying about trying to do trick dribbles and started getting the ball near the goalie. And we actually had more chances. But then we only lost 10-2 the next game. And then we lost 4-2 the next game. Dude, progress.
Oh, yeah, way progress. I've been in that situation too. It'd be like, oh, the top tier doesn't have enough teams. We're bumping you up. Be like, this is going to be an awesome weekend.
Yep. So luckily, the kids all left saying they had fun because I made goofy games out of it, gave them side challenges, and I think we did well. But you'll love this.
Okay.
As a firm owner, I took a lot of what I do running my accounting firm, and I coach the kids with it to the point where I have a little iPad app that I can diagram plays, turn on animations, and show where the players move. So after the first game, when none of these kids have played together, I'm sending all the parents looms of, hey kids, here's what we're going to do on kickoffs. Here's what we're going to do on goal kicks when the goalie gets the ball. And, 7-on-7, here's the formation. And really simple plays of just where you all need to be. And in under 4 minutes, explained it. We get to the second game, and they are starting to get great opportunities just straight off of kickoffs because I'm sending Loom videos with walkthroughs because that's the only way I know how to instruct because it's how I run my firm.
Oh, I love it. Your nerdiness knows no bounds.
And you got to work with the tools you got, and I don't have many in my head. So
that's right.
Nah. But I mean, enough about my very poor paying extracurriculars. Jeremy, I'm kind of excited because I've got a fun game. You and I struggle sometimes to come up with topics that, we haven't beaten to death yet. And I'm kind of excited about this one because I want to play a game that's called Jeremy Contracted Something Again.
I thought I got a clean bill of health after the last one, man. Why do you got to do this?
No, because last time we had to ask you about contract labor and all the rules with it. But you know what? You're back in the doctor's office again because you are going to get grilled about contracts. That's right, agreements. I want to ask you about some of the common things we see in agreements that most firm owners probably should or should not have in their contracts with their customers, and see how well you do. And let's just riff. I want you to tell me about your contracts. You show me yours, I'll show you mine.
Okay, and just so I'm clear, it is firm contracts with clients, not outside of that.
Yeah. Don't go anywhere else, Jeremy. All right. So let's run you through some questions, and really feel free to deep dive here because I think there's a lot we can talk about what you and I do and don't do right here.
Right.
Let's let other people learn from our mistakes.
Right.
All right. Jeremy, question 1. What is the phrase for the section of a contract that speaks to how and when an agreement can or will end? Is that the cease and peace section? Is that the engagements and endings section? Is that the term and termination section? The conclusions and causes section? Or how to lose a client in 10 days section?
One of those is right? I thought those were all wrong and made up. It's got to be B or C, I think. I'm going to go C.
You are correct, sir.
Yeah.
Well done, sir. And yes, so term and termination can talk about several things like fixed term or ongoing. So is it, a 6-month contract or is it indefinite? Termination for cause or convenience. What are the rules? Require notice. Is it, a year, 3 years? I hate those contracts where it's like it's a 3-year engagement and you can cancel once every 3 years on a Tuesday in the rain via carrier pigeon.
Yes.
Those.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, what does your contract state? How do you guys operate?
So we've done very simple and do 30 days notice, both sides, that they need to give us 30 days. We need to give them 30 days. And I preach this to my clients when I used to take consultation calls. And I actually had one yesterday because it was a local big firm that I kind of really wanted. So I got hopped on that one. But I said, 30-day contract, we don't lock you into anything. You will not get this with a lot of other firms. And that makes us prove our worth every month, in and out. So, because we need to make sure that we're delivering well for you, because we know we're not locked in, so we can't do garbage work.
I use that as a selling point as well, because we are 30 days also, except I tell them my phrasing is I want to bet on the fact that you want to keep us around rather than you're obligated to keep us around. And that's how I usually end up phrasing it. But either way, it's a huge selling point because you're right. People do want to lock them into, hey, you have to do 2 years to start. And just that's terrifying for a customer. I have to ask though, Jeremy, in your experience, who exercises the 30-day termination notice more often, you or the client?
I would say typically the client, but it's not. It's not very it's close, right? We've fired a couple of them recently where it was nope, it's not working out. Yeah.
I think I'm 3-1. I fire more than they fire us.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I saw.
We've had some awful clients, just awful. Meanwhile, I have one client. You've heard way too much of me complaining about them.
Yeah.
But they're lovely people. I'm not firing them because they realize all the issues are their fault and we're working through it together. I've also had some clients where they're the issue and they blame us and it's like, you got to go.
Well, yeah, but also I work with nonprofits, so 90% of them are lovely people already. They are not in it for personal gain on things. So I think a little bit different of demographics. I don't suck quite that bad. But one of my favorite is when either way, if we fire them or they fire us and the next day they take away our QuickBooks. I love that. Your QuickBook access is gone. Well, guess I can't finish that month off.
And meanwhile, we get to keep the money because you agreed to. That is true. I love that. I need to get better at if they fire us saying, hey, here's your checklist to make sure you do once everything ends. And just put at the top of the list, remove our QuickBooks access. So if they do it early, just put that idea in their head.
I love it.
All right, Jeremy. I will say there's one client, still haven't removed me from their bank accounts, QuickBooks, and they still text in receipts of their bank deposits to our portal, and they fired us in December.
I have people who add you wrong, right? And add not as an accountant, as a regular one. I have just 30 companies out there that I'm still on, and I'm well, I'm not going to force them to remove me. What if I want to just poke around in something one day? Yeah.
And that's on recording now, Jeremy. All right, question 2. Which of the following is not usually part of the intellectual property section of a contract?
Oof.
Who can create IP? Who retains the IP? Exclusive usage or not of the IP? or licensing details of the IP?
I'm gonna go. It's got to be A or D. I'm gonna go A.
Well done. Yes, it usually does not say who can create IP because if something comes up, it might be intellectual property of either side. But it does say who retains it, who has rights to use it. If I build a tool, is it the customer's or is it mine? While working on the client. That same client from December, they wanted all of our proprietary tools and templates and documents because, hey, this is the client stuff. And it's like, no, you get PDFs of all of the outputs, but you don't get the source things we programmed and code and built to get to that. No. I'm curious, do you have anything in your contracts about this?
It's been a long time since I've read my contract, Tyler. I don't know. I would hope so. And I probably get in the place too often again because I like most of the organizations we're working with that I will give them more than I should.
Yeah.
Like, oh, here's the file and whatever. We're working with one that we're offboarding now, and I love the people there. But it was like, hey, like, how do you do payroll? And I just like it's a classic Jeremy spreadsheet where there's lots of formulas and all these things in there. And I'm like, I can give you a spreadsheet. You're not gonna know how to do it. Yeah. Right. So she's like, well, maybe you guys should continue to do that. I'm like, sounds fantastic. We'll just keep the payroll piece and you do all the other stuff. And we're going to roll like that.
Yeah, I have it very specific in mind. It's just like, except for fractional CFO engagements where like they contract me to build a wage model or a employee performance model or something like that. Like, yes, that's yours because that was part of fractional CFO and you had me build something custom to you. If not, no. You don't get to retain, you don't get to ask for source files. We will give you static Excel or PDF exports, and you have the data, but no, you don't get our source stuff. And I'm a little more stingy because ours is for profit, and I don't want a separate firm trying to do what we do.
Yeah. I feel like, too, as a side note, hey, Jeremy, we're going to talk about contracts. You might want to reread your contract before we have this week. That would have been helpful, but here we are.
Question 3, Jeremy. If a service provider, like you or I, is concerned about being sued for large amounts of money, which section should they make sure is in their contract? A, payment terms, B, scope of work, C, limitations of liability, or D, indemnification?
I still don't remember what D means, but I'm going to go with C on this one.
So when I put indemnification in here, I'm like, I'm just going to put it in because I doubt Jeremy remembers what it means. So I love that.
But it's another liability thing, right? Anyway, go with your question. Yeah.
So limitations of liability, you can't miss on this one because it specifically states in the contract how much in damages you could be liable for. I can tell you right now, my contract says the max you can sue me for is the past 12 months of what you've paid us. So we could be 6 years into an agreement. You're only liable to be able to collect on the last 12 months according to the agreement. I will also just bring up a quick anecdote, and then, sorry, I'll refer to you on what you got going on in yours. We had one client last April that onboarded, and the guy was a nightmare from day one. He was the guy that, sent emails at 7 p.m. on Monday and then was sending all caps text Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. saying, why has no one gotten back to me? And so we had like an onboarding fee, a cleanup fee, and 1 month of stuff. And I just called him. I said, hey, we're no longer your accountants. And he started getting angry and hot. And I said, we're refunding all your money. And, we're done as of today. And he's like, I'm suing you guys. You have to finish everything out. And you wasted all my time. I'm like, go ahead and sue me. It says you can sue me for up to how much you've paid me in the last year, which at this moment is 0. So have a good day. And that was the end of it. I'm very happy that was in my contract because since I proactively refunded it, it was a non-issue.
Yeah, I think we have the same too. I think it is 12 months that we go back to, but you started this that they could sue you for a large amount of money. First, you have to have a large amount of money.
Yep.
to actually sue that.
Yep. If I just give it all back, there's not even lawyer's fees you can run me through. It's like, no, sorry.
Yeah, that's solid.
Question 4, Jeremy. The dispute resolution section could possibly include all of these clauses except which one? So these are all plausible. You could state that Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn must mediate any disagreements.
Ooh,
you could say that all court proceedings will take place on Judge Judy. You could say that any conflicts will be resolved via shootout in the center of town square. Or all conflicts must go through arbitration.
This one's going to have to be D. don't. Oh, what?
I threw in a stale one just to think you would go for it.
Oh God. Okay.
It's C because you can't have any enforceable things that are against the law, like public shootouts.
Right? It's a duel. It's a sacred thing. It's beautiful. It's what separates us from the animals.
But this is the dispute resolution part of the contract is where you can require that it has to go through mediation or arbitration. And if a lawyer's listening, we are not lawyers. So maybe there is a thing where Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson, because they are not actual lawyers and only play it in Wedding Crashers, which, Ian, give me a great Wedding Crashers clip. You shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
That's it. Go comatose for me, baby.
You shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
Maybe you won't be able to. But this is a great part of it because you can make sure that things don't go to legal battles where maybe someone tries to drain you of all your money in legal fees. You can say, hey, all disagreements must go through arbitration in whatever state, even with whatever attorney or law firm. This is a great, simple thing to cover your butt from, dare I say, the jerks of the world.
If your new Wedding Crashers thing and you're not going to go with just the tip. All right. Anyway, yeah, agreed. And I remember like the first contract when I signed up for this and I got a template from the internet or whatever. And you'd like, all mediation will be done with this firm. Do you dictate the firm?
Yeah.
Have you talked to that firm and said, you're going to be my mediation contract?
So we called them once, said, hey, could we use you? And they're like, who are you? And I'm like, just a local guy starting a little accounting firm. They're like, sure. I mean, we can't guarantee we'll take the case, but okay.
Yeah, I just like Googled somebody in the neighborhood and I was like, let's throw that name in there and never contacted them. So I'm like, this is going to go anywhere, right?
But I know who you got that template from that probably said this is what you need to do. So I know a lot of people have done that exact thing.
Yes. Make sure you contact that firm and get there at least. I would get it in writing. Be like, I'm going to send you an email. Please say this is okay. Well,
and, worst thing, they say no, and then it's part of the agreement that you have to find a resolution mutually agreed upon, blah, 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 blah. So, and there is, I'm not asking you a question about this, but there is the governing law section as well, where you can say, hey, the state laws of Utah will apply, or the state laws of Wisconsin, or the state laws of Hoboken, New Jersey. I just wanted to say Hoboken. It's like, it's as good as Poughkeepsie, New York, and Sheboygan, Wisconsin.
Yes. Does the Utah law stipulate that your third wife gets to mediate all disputes between you and clients?
Unless she has to stay home with my 10th child, then otherwise, yes, she has to be there.
Fair.
All right, Jeremy, you get no multiple choice on this one. You just have to know the answer. Are you ready for some work?
No, but go.
What is the French term that translates to superior force, which would cover things like disasters, wars, pandemics, and more?
Oh, I know this.
What is it?
Dang it. Come on, 1 year of college French. Where are you? Ooh. All I can think of laissez-faire, but that's not it. I don't know.
All right. We'll put you out of your misery. It is force majeure, Jeremy.
Yes.
Force majeure, which people also refer to as acts of God, where it says like, hey, this agreement, is binding unless, there's a meteor that strikes and takes out my entire city. And we're just going to call that an act of God. Then the question is, do you have a religion with multiple gods? Then which God? Like now we got to get in debate about that. Ooh. Is there a separate contract? Was it Hydra? Who knows? Are there exclusions?
The old gods or the new?
Now you're getting into Game of Thrones, right? Like, do you consider dragon, force majeure? But all that being said, I love this thing because we're like, okay, force majeure, it's in every contract, but like, does it really even apply? It literally usually states in the internet template, pandemics, which all of us 6 years ago would have been like, what the heck is that? Like, now it's like, you better make sure pandemic is in there, especially this guy in the hotel industry. That's a big deal.
Ooh, yeah, that would be a big deal. How did the French get this to stick?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's weird. All right.
If anyone wants, you go feel free to Google force majeure. You can send us a synopsis and we'll put it out there. Yeah. I don't know, because we don't have time for that research.
Napoleon decreed that force majeure will be used in all contracts worldwide.
Maybe because it's just, it sounds fancy. We like things that sound fancy. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Question 6. This is the common phrase that they use for this section of the contract that basically says that if it ain't in this contract, it ain't part of the agreement. What is that section usually called?
Inclusions and exclusions? I don't know.
I didn't make it easy on you because I forgot to write a question. I just knew I wanted it to be about this. But it is what they call the entire agreement section, which basically says this document is everything. If it's not in here, it's not part of the agreement. And you need this because how many times do clients just say like, well, I assumed you guys were doing this. You never want them to say, well, there was a handshake on the side or there was discussions about this or whatever else. No, You have it right there. This is the entire agreement. And I'm about to have to go back to one of my clients and remind them, hey, we said we would help you send out a few AR invoices that first month. It specifically says in our contract, we were not going to do this full term. We are 4 months into helping you with AR and you are not paying for it, and nor will we take it on. And I know they're going to come back. Well, we had conversations. You guys would do it. It's like, look at the entire contract. It's in there as no, and there is no outside agreement.
It's a good cover your butt thing for sure.
Very, very good. Yeah, just, again, everyone should go review their contract right now because that's a big one.
Amen.
Next up, Jeremy, 2 more. What is the common phrasing referring to the section of a contract that would cover my butt if a client wants to sue because the financials are wrong, but the mistakes are due to them giving me bad data? Is it the CYA provision? Is it the warranties and disclaimers provision? Is it the indemnification? Or is it common sense provision?
This is indemnification. I'll be mad, but B.
Well done. I just threw the word in again because I'm like, Jeremy's not going to know. Maybe it is now. Oh, man, I should have put in more indemnification. Yes, you are correct. It's warranties and disclaimers. And, man, this is a big one. I think this is paragraph 2 in my contract. Hey, the financials will only be as good as the info we have. We can't guarantee they're accurate because if you don't tell us about something, we're not going to report on it. It's up to you to make sure they're right. And a lot of clients, when they read that, they're like, what do you mean? You guys aren't going to make sure the books are right? I'm like, we can't know everything.
Yeah.
Even audits. If you do a certified audit, the audit opinion is based on what we've seen, it's right, not we certify it's right.
Yeah. Do you have this on the reports that go out too? A smaller version of it?
Yes, we've got the little disclaimer like these are for reporting and financial purposes based on the information provided, yada, yada.
Yeah. So we just like using Reach, right, for a lot of clients. It had it in there, but didn't have it in the standard kind of QuickBooks ones for the ones that aren't paying for higher level things. But made sure to add that in there too, that same thing. And I'm like, how many feathers is this going to ruffle? I'm like, nope, don't care. We need to have it in there. Let's just put it.
Yep. No, it's a very important thing because, I mean, clients will do this all the time. They're like, ooh, I forgot to tell you about like, I don't know, something I purchased on my personal card that's a truck that's going on the business and, you know.
Yeah.
But we didn't report that to investors. Well, it's kind of a problem.
Yeah, not ideal there, right?
Yeah. All right, Jeremy, last question. You're doing well, man. I'm not keeping score, but I think you're like all but one.
Yeah, 70% at least, I think.
Yeah, we'll call it a win. All right, so let's see how you finish on this last one. This section of the contract dictates whether the service provider can sell or transfer the agreement to someone else. Is it the giving clause, the assignment clause, the Santa clause, or the cause for pause clause?
Assignment clause.
Well done. Finishing it strong. And I bring this one up because all of us that own firms have the dream of someday selling. Now, are we going to do a stock sale where they buy my firm and take over my bank accounts and my QuickBooks accounts and everything? Or more often than not, it's an asset purchase. And at that point, the assignment of the agreement would have to go to the new firm. Well, if I don't have an assignment clause that I can transfer this over to the new company, you would need to get every single client to sign a new agreement with the new company. I don't know about you, Jeremy, but I have several clients that they would drag their feet for 6 friggin' months and cause issues with the sale. If you have an assignment clause, you just transfer everything over and move on with life.
And I feel like ones just wouldn't either, right? Like, yeah. So yeah, that's huge. I could think that if you are thinking of selling and you don't have that, that's automatically going to take your evaluation and be like, oh, you were up here, no longer, you're down here.
Yep. Yeah. So big thing there. If you really want to make it easy on yourself, get an assignment clause in there. Just, hey, you know, in If the company gets bought out by another one, all contracts will be absorbed and transferred over to the new entity, yada, yada, yada. And you'll be given, whatever 30 days notice, but you don't need a signature to move it.
And the heavens open up and rainbows shine and all great things happen.
Jeremy, 7 out of 8. I mean, for someone that didn't look at his contract recently, I feel like you did pretty well.
Thank you.
This episode of Unaccountable is brought to you by Keeper. I mean, at this point, you have heard me gush about them whether or not they're paying for ad space, so you might as well give it a try. But if you haven't yet, you're not convinced, well, let me tell you, I've gotten a sneak peek at what's coming up next. That's right, Keeper is about to release AI bank feeds. No longer do you need to go into your QuickBooks or Xero account and do all the work in there only to jump back to your task management system, Keeper. No, you're going to be able to do it all in one place. Yes, you are going to be able to sit on the couch and be able to do all the work of reconciliations and coding transactions all within Keeper. And can you believe it? It's only $10 a month. What do you have to lose? You'll never want to leave Keeper for your month-end close. So head on over to keeper.app and use the code UNPOD for 20% off your first 3 months. On to the show. And, for lack of another quiz or any guest, we're already at halftime, dude. I'm kind of excited to talk today because we're going to take our little app snack and we're going to go in an app that neither of us are using, but one that I'm excited to play with. Today, we're going to talk about puzzle.io. Now, Jeremy, what do you know about puzzle.io?
So these guys were a splash at scaling when we were there. There was a lot of talk around them. And so from what I understand, they have their own accounting tool, right?
Yep.
With general ledger and reporting and all of that, but also, of course, have higher AI capabilities than what they say is out there in many of these other options. So I was super intrigued by these guys.
First of all, I don't know if you saw, but in the last 48 hours, you got an invite to a puzzle account because I have created another instance of Unaccountable's books on Puzzle. I know. Aren't you so excited?
Why do you have to have our terrible numbers in so many places?
I will tell you why. Because Puzzle gives your account, you get to sign up and it is free to use Puzzle until you gross $15,000 a year. Jeremy, spoiler to our listeners so far, we have not at least claimed $15,000 this year. Maybe we have made that in sponsorship, but we haven't put it on the books yet. So it's a free account for now, and I've been playing with it. And dare I share my screen and show you this? Because there's a couple neat features. It looks like you're going to tell me to shut up right now.
Well, I looked at the pricing too, because you put on this, and I'm like, are we going to lose more money because it's on this? and based on what's on their site, it says it's free until monthly expenses exceed $5,000, not revenue.
Oh, was I looking at wrong? Well, let's tell it. Settings, billing. I was looking at this.
Oh, I went to just pricing page.
Oh, you're right. It's not revenue. It's average expenses in the last 3 months is $5,000. So 3 months, 15. Oh, dude, we're going to be fine. We don't ever spend 15,000.
Free forever unless we start paying ourselves.
We really might be. But here's what's interesting, Jeremy, is if I come in and look at like the bank account, I love this because first they're trying to do the AI review. Let's look at our podcast editor. It's saying 10 times in the last month, it auto categorized it to entertainment, or it's been once to podcast editing. We can go change all of those real quick to podcast editing, no change. And we just updated them all. Quick and simple, easy fix. Then if we come in and look even more at, let me go back to it, bank and credit card. This is what I love, because if you come in on a transaction, it's going to open a little pop-up right screen. Yeah. And I'm excited about this because not only does it have the cash data hit the bank account, I can click this little button, say the accrual date, hit it, and it's automatically going to put it to the balance sheet as deferred revenue or accrued expense or whatever else and give me the reconciliation. The moment I hit save, it has now done this. It also has things like departments and locations already. Digits doesn't have this yet. Digits is going to be coming with it, but they already have departments and locations. They also have a fixed asset schedule already built in, dude. You can put in the timeline, what it is. You can set up rules. You can go in and place your in-service date, and it will move it over. Useful life can be manually entered here. Are you doing mid-month convention? Are you doing half-month convention? Like, they've already built in the most complicated of balance sheet items right here that you just edit on the transaction itself, and it takes care of the back end.
If you click on the journal entry, will it show you with that like, hey, in March, we made an entry to move that? No, go back to your side panel.
Okay.
Scroll down.
Okay.
And it's got the JE, cash JE, and accrual JE there. Can you click on that and it'll show you the actual journal entry?
Let's look at the accrual JE. So, again, you and I are doing this live, and this is a great thing to do on a podcast where people are listening and aren't seeing the screen. But it looks like it's pulling up the journal entries. I don't know. Here's what I can say is last night when I was playing with this, I went in and pulled the balance sheet as of, end of last month or whatever, and it has it sitting in prepaids. And then I run the balance sheet this month, and now it's off prepaids and is reconciled. So the entries are there. I might have to learn how to poke around in here and get it right. But dude, if you can do fixed assets that easily, if you can do prepaids that easy, my goodness, man. And then they're also doing things like the reconciliations. They're taking care of all of that somewhere in here. I've got to get back to where it was. Accounting reconciliations. They're pulling the bank data and they're doing the reconciliation and making sure it all matches for you. So you can just click that finalize reconciliation and it's done. Jeremy, my firm is built on QuickBooks. If I could get over to this, I would. In fact, go to integrations, Jeremy. This is where I'm upset. They don't integrate with many of my other favorite tools yet. And I think this is what's going to slow me down from coming over here. But they already sync with QuickBooks. They pulled in our entire QuickBooks history in 5 minutes and updated since our past. It's good to go. And if we keep making changes in QuickBooks, it'll update here until we're ready to switch. So it's not a one-time conversion. They're actively syncing to if we're doing things in QuickBooks. They also have Gusto.
I was going to say there were some good names there. There was Relay and Gusto and Ramp.
Yep.
So a lot of things that we use too.
Stripe is the only revenue, unfortunately, at the moment, which I don't hate Stripe, but I want more versatility. But then again, if you're like us using Anchor or what do you use again?
Duct tape and
super glue.
Better proposals.
Better proposals. But don't you have a different AR system that you're charging your payment processor?
Oh yeah, Pluto. Yeah.
Pluto. Yeah. So I mean, all of it can hit the bank account and you can reconcile later. Right. But I mean, Bill.com is in there right now. Sorry, William. He prefers his real name now.
Yeah.
But again, they're coming up with stuff. Some of these things I haven't heard yet. There's also a financial analytics and planning platform on here that I was looking at. Jeremy, I don't think I'm ready to make the switch yet, but I think it's in my future.
Gonna drop a suggestion: nonprofit pricing. Do nonprofit pricing because just you can just see clear efficiencies here that you can't do in QuickBooks, right? Like the ones you went through. And obviously, like something you'd have to look at closer for what reporting looks like, capabilities. We need like project level stuff too, which is why I couldn't try digits when it was there either. But this has definitely got a lot of the boxes checked for sure.
It does. And I mean, if they're going to do the AI coding and bank feeds, that's going to be figured out for us. If they're going to be doing auto reconciliations and categorization, and if they're going to take care of fixed asset and accrual reconciliation, dude, they have taken the majority work off my plate. And even with my accountant discount pricing on QuickBooks, I'm paying, what am I, like $170 a month for top tier, $140 or something for the plus, which is what I need. They're going $100, and this is public pricing. I don't even know, but I'm sure accountants get cheaper pricing. So, I mean...
Oh, yeah, I would think if I'm going to take my 50 clients and bring them over there, I'm sure they'd work with you.
Oh, absolutely. 4 accounting firms. So, if we come in here, become a partner, I think they even said they have discounts or something. It's like a 30% discount. So, we'll have to go find out what it is. But all that being said, Jeremy, of all the tools I've seen out there and new bank feeds that are new accounting platforms that are being built, Puzzle is the one that is currently my leader that I might actively look. Honestly, the thing it needs to integrate with Keeper. It needs to integrate with my practice management. So, If Carbon Canopy, Taxdome, Lisio, Financial Sense figure out that, hey, Digits, Puzzle, or who is the other one at Scaling New Heights? Jeremy, I can't find the name of that other one, but we'll drop it in the notes later. But all that being said, like, if I can get an integration with my practice management software, I might be starting to switch within the next year.
Yeah. I mean, again, I need that like job costing project function, but if you throw that in there and it's got budgeting, I assume. I didn't see that either. Gotta have budgeting.
Yeah, see, this is where I haven't vetted everything yet. But Jeremy, I have given you access to our unprofitable business here. So dare I say, get in there and take a look. I do not see budgets yet, but I could be wrong.
Right. And if they figured out the other things, like that's got to be on the roadmap, right? So, super cool.
So all that to say, everyone, last final things. The pricing, as we said, the public pricing they announced. The most popular, average an accountant's going to need it is $100 a month. The Insights plan, which is like somewhat dumbed down, is $50 a month. And then Accounting Plus for companies scaling at scale with more complicated needs, $300 a month. I'm really curious if I could start using this in the future with some of my asset management companies that have, 8 hotels. Could I do one set of books between that class and location, department and location, and really start doing all as one set of books, multiple? I don't know. I'm going to get in and play with it and figure it out.
To be continued, I'm sure.
Yeah. All right. Jeremy, do you want me to talk some more? Because I don't think you're sick of me yet.
Oh, I mean, you didn't get to talk enough in the last one with some technical difficulties, so keep it rolling, man.
All right, let's run you through one more game. We're going to bring back a classic. This was a game we brought in very early on called Accounting Mashup. You did one, 3 months ago, but I want to bring it back where, for those listeners that have been with us a long time, you'll remember. But Jeremy, this game is there are going to be 2 answers to every question that mash together. The example we commonly use is the total amount of money being transferred into and out of a business to the dude that loves your apple bottom jeans. What's the answer?
Cash flow rider.
There you go. Cash flow and flow rider. So we put it together. Yep. Cash flow rider. Jeremy, I have got 7 questions in here. Are you ready for it?
This one is scary, I think, for both of us, because you got to put the pop culture and the other thing together. But yeah, let's do it.
All right. First question. This is commonly associated as the job of most of Santa's elves, mashed up with the abbreviated name for a husband.
Oof. There was no accounting in there.
There was no. Oh, sorry. Because the answer features our guest from last week.
The answer features Toy Maker Mister? Toy Mr. Maker?
Toy Makers.
Toy Makers Mister? Oh, I got nothing.
We were looking for Toy Maker's Hubby.
Toy Maker's Hubby. Maker's Hubby. Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah.
And I wanted to tease in. Did you get a chance to poke around at all at Maker's Hub? Because I feel like I shortchanged them, and I wanted to give them one more shout out this week after my failures last week.
Very little after that. I did look at it and talked about it with the guys, but I didn't jump in there.
Well, all I'd say, if you guys missed last week, go give them a look, because if you've got construction, restaurant, or high line item detail clients, God, it's amazing. But we'll move on. All right, Jeremy, question 2. This childhood game involving one player jumping over an old aluminum container when they spot someone, mashed up with a very common product roadmap tool that many softwares in our space use to announce their product updates.
Oh my God.
I know.
An old game where you jump over, and it's not sorry, they were an aluminum.
What's an aluminum container?
A pail? A can. No, I got nothing, man. Ugh.
All right, we'll see how it goes. I was looking for Kick the Canny.
Kick the Canny.
Did you ever play Kick the Can?
Yeah, we played Kick the Can.
Yeah, all the time. And while I could reminisce about that game back at, Boy Scout days, which, all we did was, get our pocket knives taken away for us for doing dumb stuff and playing in the fire. But I wanted to bring up Canny, which is the app that a lot of the softwares we know and love use to publicly lay out their roadmap. I mean, ones that I already love. Puzzle has a public canny. I've been scoping around there. Keeper has a public canny. I think it's keeperapp.canny.io. Anchor has a public roadmap. Taxdome even has one, I believe. Maybe it's not Candy. They might use something else. But all of these tools, you can go in and see their roadmap. For those of you who don't know, if you want to start getting involved in the conversations of which way these softwares are going and start getting your voice heard, you need to find these product roadmap tools they're all using and sign up and start upvoting and putting suggestions out there. Jeremy, are you a frequent peruser of your tools roadmaps?
I am 100% not. Wow. And that is, I would be called uncanny.
I am that guy that Thursday morning I wake up and before I'm out of bed, I look at Keeper's Canny to see what product update they released this week.
Christmas morning every Thursday.
Yep, that's exactly where I am. It's like, it's Thursday. I know what I'm going to do. There we go. Hopefully I can pitch a shutout at you here.
I'm glad I did so well on the contracting something. Based on this performance so far.
All right, we'll see how you do here. This one is not just a straight up mashup. It's a word inside a word. So, debatably a former NBA great that had an epic career with the Nuggets and Knicks, mashed up with this little purple payment processor that was just acquired by Xero.
Ooh, Carmelo Anthony?
And he avoids the shutout. Well done.
Get the sports references in there. I like it.
Yes. And, you know, it's a couple weeks old now. It was actually very interesting that the announcement came out on the last day we were all at Scaling New Heights, that those two in the room consummated their relationship. But, I mean, first of all, Melio paid an outrageous price. It was, $2 billion? We should really be prepared with numbers. I wasn't ready with that. But I'm curious what you think is going to happen. I mean, QuickBooks a while ago bought DataDeer, which was one of the best spreadsheet integration softwares, and it was amazing for Xero. In fact, DataDeer worked better with Xero than it did QuickBooks. And then QuickBooks buys it and kills it and makes it spreadsheet sync. What do you think Xero's going to do? Like, pure speculation from you and I, but what do you think this means for those users that use Melio and QuickBooks?
Yeah, this will be interesting because, like, again, we both thought that they were the pretty girl at the ball when QuickBooks partnered with them originally.
Yep.
And then they got kicked to the curb because QuickBooks payments, right? I feel like, if nothing else, Xero has been a more sustainable partner for people. So I feel like if you're at Xero, you're feeling great. But yeah, if I'm a QuickBooks user and I still use Melio, I would be concerned, right? That they're going to not want you to use that tool with QuickBooks or make it very easy to use it with QuickBooks in the future. And that's probably nothing against Xero. If nothing else, like, Intuit's bullied them way more than vice versa. So I would be concerned and at least have a backup plan should something come to roost.
A famous burger joint that originated in California mashed up with the term for hiring staff or a team that is not part of the company to perform a function.
In an outsource?
Outsourcing? Yeah, in and outsourcing.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so two questions. Are you a fan of in and out? Like, do they pass the test? And are you guys entertaining outsourcing anytime soon?
In and out, do they still exist? I thought I read an article the other day that they're making a comeback and they were gone. Do they still have in and out on the West
they're
Coast?
all over Utah. I remember people were they had lines around the block when they first came to Utah like 6 years ago.
Okay, I think we had one once. I never tried it. I don't.
Because you guys in your cubbies or whatever kicked them out. Culvers, there you go.
Culvers, man. Culvers are fantastic. So that's that. Outsourcing, so I'm still on the fence. So, like, we made a mutual contact that I'm very intrigued that has an option in South America. And I kind of was always never going to go down that path, right? And part of that is because so many of the options are either in India or Southeast Asia. And I don't feel like, I know they say like they'll work your hours, but I feel like it is 100% our company against our company culture to say like, yes, you should work the hours and then have to sleep when your family's awake.
Yep.
And just like tear your family apart that way. So,
well, especially if that's where you work, are you going to leave for the first job you can find that you can work daytime hours? I feel like turnover would be high.
Yeah, it's definitely a risk. So, definitely something I need to vet out better. And I don't think I'm ever going to be like majority of that, but I'm intrigued by that option.
We're right there with you. We're talking with South offices. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it's our next hire, whether, if we have any staff turnover that someone decides to leave, or if I keep selling enough clients and we bring on more, I wouldn't be surprised if a South American CPA is our next hire.
I'm going to sneakily have you hire someone and be like, they're fantastic. I'm going to call South offices. Tell them I'll give them $1 more an hour. God, they're going to have to leave you, Tyler.
Yeah. And then I'll be on here on UnAccountable talking down the product. You'll be talking it up. Perfect.
It's perfect.
Last one. What Intuit calls its new smart assistants to automatically do bank coding and categorizing, mashed up with the name of the bad guy from the first and last Matrix movie.
Oh, I don't remember his name. Agent.
Mr. Anderson.
Why, Mr. Anderson? Why? Why do you persist?
Because I choose to.
Yeah, Agent.
Generic name. It might be the most generic last name in Utah.
Is it Client Assist Agent Smith or something? I forgot it's Agent Smith.
It is Agent Smith. What do they call their new things? Two buzzword letters.
AI Agent Smith.
There we go. And we helped him find it. Which, dare I say, Agent Smith was AI. That probably was just his full name. I'm curious, have you been playing around with QuickBooks' new tools, or do you hate it as furiously as the comments section of Facebook does?
I haven't, just for that reason. It has gotten so much backlash that I feel like my time would be better served exploring other avenues for our firm than that right now. And I've honestly, other than core functionality, never loved any of the new things that QuickBooks has came out until the edges get smoothed out a bit.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm more waiting for Puzzle to be ready for me than I am going to figure out how to reuse all of QuickBooks' stuff. Especially because I still fear I'm training QuickBooks' system to replace me, because that's still their goal.
Yeah, 100% it is.
Yeah. Jeremy, 3 out of 5, we're going to call it. That's a passing grade here.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I've been hogging the limelight. It's your show.
Welcome to Fast Figures. 10 questions, 1 minute-ish. All answers are numbers. The game starts now.
Well, if nothing else, I agree with you. You've been talking way too much. So give me some fast figures action this time. Have a theme. It'll be easy to go to. I don't know I think we've dabbled in this theme before, but there's a reason I'm going there. You'll know what the first question. Are you ready?
Sure.
1 minute on the clock. All right. This episode is going to drop July 31st, which is also J.K. Rowling's birthday.
Oh.
Within 5 years, how old is she?
56.
In 2026, at the Three Broomsticks pub, Madame Rosnera receives 5 galleons as a tip. Within 10%, how much will she be required to pay taxes on her tip wages?
0.
How many heads does Fluffy, Hagrid's adorable dog, have when he's not accidentally chewing on one of the other necks?
Even when he is chewing on the other neck, still 3.
Okay, this one, thinker. Luna Lovegood receives 5,000 galleons of royalty income from her house Ravenclaw for use of her new creative teaching method. Given that 5,000 galleons is her only income for the year, how many galleons would her federal income tax liability be?
Well, what's the galleon to US dollar conversion ratio? Are we talking 1 to 1?
Galleons equal dollars. Yes.
Galleons equal dollars, and you said income tax?
What would be your federal income tax liability?
0.
What platform does Hogwarts Express leave from?
Platform 9 3/4.
Gringotts Wizarding Bank is, of course, insured by the FDIC. How much is the limit of each depositor's insurance at the bank?
250 galleons, which I think there is 16 nuts per galleon. So we could do the math here, but we'll go 250 galleons.
A typical school day. How many different classes or courses do the students have at Hogwarts?
I think 4.
How many players are on a team in Quidditch?
Oh my gosh, 3 chasers, 2 bludgers, the seeker, and the 7.
Okay, this one's not a number. Weasley's Wizards Wheezes opens up shop during a period of time when they are expecting costs to increase or an inflationary period, what inventory method should they use to minimize their tax liability?
FIFO? No, LIFO.
Well, with LIFO, okay. Final one. How many toes does a hippogriff have?
4? Wait, how many claws?
Toes.
Toes. I thought hippogriffs had claws. All right, I'm going to stick with 4.
All right.
Hippogriffs don't have claws? They have wings.
We'll discuss that.
I thought they were like a horse
of
and eagle put together.
Yeah, I thought you weren't a Harry Potter fan, but you showed some chops here. You are Harry Potter?
So I used to do a lot of pub trivia back in my 20s, and our team did amazing. And then Geeks Who Drink once a year would do like a Friends only night, Friends episode. They would do an office night. And when they did Harry Potter 3 years running, we took home the grand cash prize.
All right. I didn't know that. So cool. We learned a thing. All right. So first question, J.K. Rowling, on the day this episode drops, turns 60 years old. You had a 5-year window. Said 56. Giddy up. Got it right.
Total shot in the dark.
Yeah, it's good. All right. So Madame Rosmerta receives 5 galleons as a tip. Galleons equal dollars. Within 10%, how much will she be required to pay taxes on? We talked about this in the last episode. Taxes are planned on not being taxed, or tips are not going to be taxed next year. You said 0. It is 0. Nice
Up until like 27,000 galleons in tips or something, and then it gets taxed, something like that.
Yeah, and then we talked about what creative occupancies may or may not be on that list. So I would think that the bar server or bar owner at the 3 Broomsticks would count.
I'm going to write the aside material, like the fan fiction for the tax law in the Wizarding World, just for fun.
Yeah. That could, yeah. We're nerds. Oh my God, I'm going to leave that alone. All right. How many heads does Fluffy have?
3.
Correctly. Yep. Said 3.
Come on. That's entry level.
3 for 3 so far. All right. So now the thinker. So let's talk about this one.
Okay.
So Luna Lovegood made $5,000 galleons of royalty income.
A royalty.
I said royalty income.
You did. Okay.
So what do you said 0. That is, I'm going to incorrect you. Give yourself the burnt.
Yeah. So if it's royalty, isn't like anything over the first 2,000 is taxable at like federal? I don't know. Hit me with knowledge.
Yeah. So like this royalty income is taxed as normal income, right?
Okay.
That you'd have there. And the lowest tax rate is 10%.
Okay.
So it would be 500 galleons at 10%.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was the thinker. That one had some build up to it, so I get it. What platform does Hogsworth Express leave from? I might have got this right. I'm not a Potter. You said 9 3/4. That is correct.
Easy.
Gringotts Wizarding Bank is insured by the FDIC, right? In galleons. How much are they insured for? You said how many galleons?
250,000.
Correct. 250,000. So just for knowledge, like if you haven't had us talk about fantastic banks like Relay before, might be a sponsor plug. They work with other banks that insure you up to $3 million. That they have a sweep program as long as you sign up for that. So you got all sorts of money in the bank, worried about banks folding and want a higher insurance level? Go check out Relay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Although I don't think they'll help you with galleons. Also, I looked it up. It's 17 sickles to a galleon, and then there's 29 nuts in a sickle.
I thought you were wrong with nuts there, because looking through this stuff, there were sickles that I saw, but I hadn't saw nuts. And that's got a G in front of it, right? Nuts?
Nuts has a K in front of it.
Oh, yeah, right. K. So it's K-N-U-T-S.
Yep.
Can never be too careful with your nuts.
Nope.
All right. How many courses a day are at the Hogwarts school?
I thought they had 2 pre-lunch and 2 post-lunch.
That is what I found as well. There was a little controversy in doing research, but yes, I believe that one was accurate as well. All right, then Quidditch. As a coach of a sporting event,
they play 7v7.
7v7, right? And we're going to say 7. What were the positions again, though?
Well, you have 3 chasers, you have 2 bludgers, you have the keeper and the seeker. So, you got like Angelina Johnson, that's up there as one of the chasers. Oliver Wood was obviously in goal. I mean, we could really get into the Potter trivia here.
Oh my God, your nerdness. The bludgers are what the beaters use. So they are two beaters that use bludgers, is what I'm reading anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're not called bludgers.
No, the beaters use the bludgers, or they use their bats to hit the bludgers.
Right. So I always had this question as a sports fan when it came to Quidditch rules.
Yeah.
Is that you get 150 points to get the seeker at the end.
The snitch.
The snitch, yes. The seeker gets the snitch.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah, right. If your team is down by more than 150 points, would your seeker ever get the snitch then? Because you would want to wait till you're up.
You would want to wait till you're within 150 points, but there is one actual moment in the book where someone still catches it just as like, let the madness and the pain, misery end. We're getting destroyed. And it was like a mercy killing.
Okay. All right. Makes sense. I'm like, something doesn't spell right for me.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Correct again. So next one, Weasley's Wizards Wheezes opens up in a inflationary period, not a number. Again, threw you off the game a little bit. What inventory method would they like to use? You waffled a little bit, landed on LIFO.
Because I remember I had to think back to you said inflationary, which means the last things in cost more, so we'd rather expense the higher cost items, so LIFO.
Right. Correct. Yeah. So that will make your cost of goods sold higher. You will have less profit, therefore less tax liability.
Same cash flow.
Good call. All right, now let's get into the real one. How many toes does a hippogriff have? Hippogriff is a combination of what two animals?
I think it's a horse and an eagle, like buckbeak. Yeah, I think it's a horse and an eagle.
Okay, I would agree. Yeah, that is a horse and an eagle. So then the thing that we could debate on is what counts as a toe. So eagles have 2 feet with 4 talons on each of them.
Okay.
So you could make an argue that it's 8.
Okay.
But then also have 2 hooves in the back with the split hoof thing. You're seeing on camera, that's my best split hoof thing. Are hoof splits toes or not toes? I feel like the answer's got to be either 8 if they're not, or 12 if the hoofs count as toes. But do talons count as toes? Maybe it's 0. I feel like 4 is wrong, no matter what.
I thought you were talking per hand, like...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just looking at like how... Okay, fair enough. I was not
that one.
specific, but then again...
What do you think, though? What's your thought on toes? Talons count as
I
toes?
don't think hooves are toes.
Hooves aren't toes, but talons would count as toes. Like the
I wouldn't
4
even call that
fingers.
toes. Actually, I would say 0. Claws aren't toes.
All right.
Hooves aren't toes, claws aren't toes.
Please argue this amongst yourselves at home. What would be toes?
Yeah.
All right. Either way, fantastic work. 8 out of 10. Take that as a win.
I am going to be stoked that one, and I'm going to put that on my fridge. And for the sake of time...
All right. Let's just go winner and loser. I'm going to start with loser. And, I was struggling here on this one, so let's just start with loser first, because in the Midwest, I don't know if this is the same as Utah, when you don't have anything to talk about, you talk about the weather, right? Yeah. And I feel like the losers are the climate change skeptics, right? Where it's 1,000 degrees in the Midwest, and Europe has had all sorts of heat waves. We've had flooding, which is terrible in Texas, but all sorts of other places. I am currently under a tornado watch here in Wisconsin. So fun fact, this cuts off early. That could be why. But yeah, I feel like that climate change thing's pretty solid at this point.
Well, I'm still just sitting here saying, why doesn't anyone believe me about the flat earth? Right? It's a giant hockey puck.
That's right. And then let's go for winners. Did you want to go more?
I was just going to say, we lost both our listeners at that point. So
yeah, that's right. And then winners, going to go with the box office. So Superman, again, this is dated. So for reference, we are recording early because our wonderful producer, Ian, I think he's having a second wedding celebration thing. I don't know what it is, but Superman just came out last weekend, killed it, $120 million. We've had the Jurassic World, been awesome. The How You Train Your Dragons. Before this drops, Fantastic Four will be out, as well as Happy Gilmore will be out on Netflix. Looking forward. Happy Gilmore 2. Looking forward to that.
They better have Happy Gilmore 1 out as well, so I can go rewatch ahead of time.
Go home! That's your home! Are you too good for your home? Answer me!
Oh, yeah. I feel like they have to, right? They're going to get so much airtime for that. So box office, going back. My question then is, how are they going to create these shady movie accounting to make sure that they don't show a profit, go back to episode 29. We talked about this.
Yeah, it's like all the upfront costs and how they can expense them and off. Oh my gosh, that was a crazy game you put me through back then.
Good times.
All right. Well, Jeremy, that's all the time we got for this week. Running a little long, but dude, see you again in a couple weeks. And I think we're going to be back in school session like soon. Like life might get easy for you and I again.
Oh, yeah. Won't that be nice?
Let's be honest, most of us didn't become bookkeepers or accountants to spend hours learning marketing systems and chasing leads. Heck, some of us became accountants because we didn't want to talk to people. We did it also to serve clients and build businesses we love. But what if you could get better clients without the marketing overwhelm? Well, that's exactly what Keepable does. It's an all-in-one marketing system built specifically for bookkeepers and accountants. And it works 24/7 behind the scenes to bring in leads, book consultations, and automate follow-ups. You get a professional website, branded consultation page, and follow-up automations all tailored to your business. No more duct taping tools together or hiring expensive marketing teams. If you want to grow your firm with ease and attract better clients without doing more work, go check out Keepable today at keepable.com or follow the link in the show notes to give us a little bit of extra credit with the folks over at Keepable.